The room around you has finally become quiet enough for you to hear what your heart has been carrying all day. Not the surface thoughts, the deeper ones. The ones that only show up when the lights are low and there is nothing left distracting you from yourself. The wondering, the waiting, the exhaustion of trying to stay hopeful after so many things felt delayed. And still, part of you kept listening for something to change. That is why these words found you tonight. My beloved, come closer for a moment. Not physically, just inwardly. Let your breathing slow a little. Let your shoulders loosen. There is nothing you need to prove here. You have been carrying more than most people realize. Not only the financial pressure, not only the uncertainty, but the weight of pretending you are okay, while your mind keeps circling the same quiet questions in the dark. How much longer can I keep doing this? When will life finally soften? Why does everything keep almost opening, then closing again? You have replayed those thoughts so many times, they have started to feel permanent. But they are not permanent. And tonight, something inside you is finally beginning to unclench. Not because all your problems disappeared, and not because you suddenly have every answer, but because your spirit is tired of living as though fear is the only voice allowed to speak. Breathe for a moment, slowly. The bed beneath you is holding your weight right now. The room is not asking anything from you. For these few moments, you do not have to solve your future. You are allowed to simply be here. And somewhere underneath all the noise, your heart already senses that something is shifting. Not loudly, quietly, like dawn, slowly entering a dark room. My child, there is a reason part of you would not completely give up, even after disappointment kept teaching you to. Because something deeper inside you knew, this chapter was not the end of your story. Not fantasy, not escape. Relief. Relief from constantly calculating. Relief from carrying pressure in your chest every waking hour. Relief from feeling emotionally trapped inside survival mode. You have spent so long preparing for loss, that receiving has started to feel unfamiliar. Even peace can feel suspicious after enough disappointment. So when rest finally tries to enter your life, part of you tightens against it without even realizing. That part of you is not weak, it is simply exhausted from trying to protect you. You do not have to force belief tonight. You do not have to perform certainty. You only have to loosen your grip for a moment, and allow yourself to rest inside possibility again. Because the deeper truth is this. Your life cannot fully open while you are still speaking to yourself like someone abandoned by it. That is what has been changing quietly inside you. Not your worth, your readiness. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. Prepared to recognize who truly stands beside you. Prepared to stop shrinking yourself to fit inside spaces that could not honor your spirit. Prepared to carry responsibility without losing your softness. That matters more than you know, because abundance without peace becomes another burden. But peace, inside someone who understands compassion, restraint, and gratitude, becomes something steady enough to hold good things without being consumed by them. And deep down, you already know this was never only about money. It was about breathing again. It was about waking up without dread already waiting for you. It was about no longer feeling like one unexpected problem could undo your entire life. Your nervous system has been bracing for impact for a very long time. No wonder you feel tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes. The kind that settles behind your eyes. The kind that quietly lives underneath your ribs. The kind that comes from holding yourself together for too long. But notice something now. Your breathing has already slowed. Your thoughts are softer than they were a few minutes ago. Something in you is beginning to feel safer. Stay there. Let the silence help you, instead of frightening you. You are safe here. There were moments in your life where you gave more than you received. Moments where your kindness became convenient for others, but costly for you. Moments where you stayed present for people who disappeared the moment you needed tenderness yourself. And still, your heart did not become cruel. That matters. The world often rewards hardness loudly, but heaven notices what remains gentle after disappointment. That is why your life is changing from the inside first. Because the version of you stepping forward now is no longer built entirely around fear. You are learning that you do not need to apologize for wanting stability. You do not need to shrink your desires to make other people comfortable. You do not need to prepare yourself for disappointment before good things even arrive. Something greater than your fear is holding you tonight. Feel the truth of that before you try to analyze it. Just breathe. Slowly in, slowly out. Nothing in this moment needs to be rushed. And if doubt still lingers in part of you, that is okay too. Doubt survives inside people who have been hurt repeatedly. It does not make you faithless, it makes you human. But listen carefully, your future is not being built only from your fear. It is also being shaped by your endurance. Every quiet morning you kept going, every unseen sacrifice, every time you chose tenderness instead of bitterness, every moment you carried disappointment without letting it poison your spirit. None of that disappeared. You became someone deeper than you realize. Not louder, not harder, deeper. And now, life is asking you to stop identifying only with the version of yourself that struggled. Because that identity helped you survive, but it cannot guide you where you are going next. The next version of you breathes differently, chooses differently, rests differently. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because your spirit no longer believes fear deserves complete authority over your future. That shift begins quietly, like this, right here in the dark, right here while the world outside keeps moving and your soul finally pauses long enough to hear itself again. I am with you in this. You do not have to carry every unanswered question tonight. Tomorrow is not yours to hold yet. Let tomorrow wait outside the room for now. Tonight is about returning to yourself. Tonight is about remembering that your value was never measured by how exhausted you became trying to earn rest. You are allowed to receive peace before circumstances fully change. That matters. Because peace is not the reward for finally controlling life. Peace begins the moment you stop believing you must carry life alone. And maybe that is the real shift happening here. Not a dramatic moment, not pressure, not performance. A quieter thing. The slow return of trust inside your own spirit. The realization that your life is not over because it moved slowly. The realization that delay did not erase your purpose. The realization that you are still becoming someone meaningful, even after disappointment. Especially after disappointment. So now, without forcing emotion, simply let these words settle inside you. I no longer belong only to survival. Again, I no longer belong only to survival. Feel how your body responds to that. Not perfectly, just honestly. Because something inside you has been waiting a long time to stop living as though struggle was the only future available to you. And maybe tonight, for the first time in a while, your spirit is beginning to believe there could be more. Not all at once, not violently, gently, like morning light slowly entering the room. Rest now. Let your thoughts soften. Let the pressure leave your chest, one breath at a time. You do not need every answer tonight. You do not need to force certainty. You only need to stop fighting the possibility that your life can still open in ways you cannot fully see yet. And it can. The dark around you is not empty. Something quiet is still holding you here. You are held.